Good morning and welcome to the presentation on sustainable agriculture water management using Internet of Things in Punjab, India, a pilot study which has been carried out under the funding from the World Bank. And this is very important and challenging in terms of water management in India's agriculture sector. As you are aware, that over 75% of water being used in agriculture sector, and mostly this water is being withdrawn from groundwater and surface water. And essentially we are talking about here is the use of groundwater using electricity for extracting this. And also we are trying to look at the food security in India. So therefore my presentation will address the nexus of food, energy in this case study. Let me just put a context to this presentation. Soon after the partition, most of the fertile and irrigated part of India went to the west, it's Pakistan, which is called Pakistan now. And therefore, India has to face the severe food crisis post-independence, 1947. And thereby India went on to the Green Revolution, which means that high yield varieties of seeds, it is rice and wheat, and irrigations, infrastructures and irrigation, and also high yield fertilizers. So, and if you look at in the current situation, due to the Green Revolution, the Punjab, which is the Indian part of Punjab, which produces a single state almost 8 million tons of rice in 3 million hectares of land. And this is essentially over 90% of water being extracted from the ground using the electricity and the pumps. And if you look at that over the years, though there is a well laid out canal system is there, but farmers prefer to have independent without getting into irrigation scheduling, make them more independent in utilizing the groundwater. So over the years, the groundwater has been depleted. The per capita availability is also reduced, which also created a lot of other problems in the state of Punjab. And this is also due to the fact that the farmers in Punjab are not paying a single rupee towards electricity for using their groundwater extraction. Now, as you aware, the COP26 is just over, and India has committed to net zero emission by 2070. That also put India into another difficult situation in achieving the net zero, thereby to reduce also the CO2 and greenhouse gas reduction in all sectors. As you aware that rice cultivation, here I'm going to present this, has two large challenges, big challenges. One is rice is also produces, if you look at more CO2 and methane and greenhouse gas, and thereby also it uses water, which is like if you look at the water footprint, 1 kg of rice requires 3,000 liters of water, and thereby there is a concern that we need to ensure that crop water management for rice is being monitored and optimal used, and that also reduces further in standing water and thereby reducing also greenhouse gas. So these are some of the challenges in the rice. Thereby, we went into a well-tested tools of the methodology of called alternate wetting and drying, and which has been tested in many parts of Asia. And as you all are aware that AW techniques reduces almost 30% of greenhouse gas, and thereby we thought let us use this. But there are some challenges as well with these techniques. And number one is knowledge intensive, which is required good understanding of soil moisture, thereby the crop water requirement. Labor intensive, that's also put many times the farmers not to go for it. Time intensive, as you require to really monitor, understand the demands, and thereby you also need to really spend quite a lot of time in that. The last one is high risk, because if the irrigation is not available when it is needed, then it could be also a serious problem in the productivity and yield as well. So these are the challenges. For challenges, looking at these challenges, we thought, why not automate this system using sensors and cloud-based Internet of Things to ensure that farmers is encouraged to use this system to look at the optimal use for the paddy cultivations. And if you look at the typical, from agronomy perspective, and the vegetation, the rice, the transplantation to harvesting, there is sequence is a vegetative stage, a reproductive stage, as well as the harvesting stage. These are three pages where the rice grows, and a typical cycle is there. And thereby, if you look at the first graph, where it shows that what is the water requirement in the paddy and how long we can the water can sustain. That means when you go down to the moisture level goes down to the -10 to 15. Until that time, the rice can still grow. And thereby, this agronomy science has put at also the growth versus water requirement, and we also follow this in our model. These are some of the sensors which use to ensure that AWD system is working on IoT mode, and it helps also farmer to adapt to this new technology. So soil moisture, to understand the soil moisture on the paddy field. Standing water level, that's one of the most important aspects to measure what should be the water level. The misnomer is that the farmer always think that more water in the paddy field always give higher productivity, which is again misnomer. That's why I showed you in the previous slide that water requirement and the growth of the paddy in different stages. The third one is rain gauge. That also required, if there is a rain happening, then irrigation probably can be put into the latter stage as and when it's required. Water flow meter is essential to monitor how much water is being extracted through pumps, and that will also give the volume of water being irrigated, utilized for the crop growth. The groundwater level monitoring, this is also essential for understanding that how much we are extracting and what is the water level, what is the energy part in extracting from different levels, level the groundwater, and that's also to find out the consumption of electricity. Pump controller being used to ensure that the pumps are being controlled from the farmer's mobile phone app, where you can on and off based on the alerts or based on the instruction given from the cloud-based system. These are some of the sensors for your information, which we use for automating on the Internet of Things mode with the cloud system. And this is a map of Punjab. You can see this is next to, this is earlier before partition it was called East Punjab. The Punjab, which is now in Pakistan, it was West Punjab. So this is where in Indian part of the Punjab, and we looked at the three locations in Amritsar, Ludhiana, Batinda, three different regions, and we had 33 locations to test this model and efficacy to ensure there is a buy-in by farmers and the government. So 30 farmers were selected and 3 research stations were selected in these 3 different regions. And this is a typical irrigation scheduling system of rice. And this is again for different varieties. It has been fine-tuned based on the varieties of rice, paddy, and thereby the system is configured to deliver the water on demand. This is an algorithm which is used for rice. And this algorithm again it's been customized for different varieties of paddy to ensure that the farmers get this information based on the data already been collected, based on the varieties, based on the date of transplantations, based on the farmer's location, and all other information. And this is typical workflow of cloud server-based IoT for farmers on AWS system. And this is how information moves around from the field to the server. From server, it goes to the control stations. From control station, it gives the information directly to the farmer through GSM, as well as other methods also. one of the important aspects that you need to educate and develop the farmers' understanding to the new system. Thereby, there are a lot of discussion, participation with the farmers, including the research officers, the farmers going to the site, ensuring that installation of AWS system is on a proper way to ensure that the signals are coming to the control stations. From control center, it goes to also server. This is typically the Kharif, which is called summer rainy season, where the farmers grow rice in the peak of the winter, peak of the summer, and the different varieties. And you can see there are rate of transplantation, including soil type, to ensure the soil moisture, calibrations. This is typically one part of Ludhiana, where it shows that how the information comes from the system and based on different information received. And this is the standard graphs which have been presented. And once the system is done and harvesting is carried out properly, and measurement is also done meticulously to ensure that what is the volume of water use, what is the yield, and all. And this is part of the result, which you can see different varieties of different farmers. And then last column, you can see IoT based system, what is the yield and what is in control stations. If you look at, I'll give you a summary sheet of that. So if you look at the findings, it shows that an average 4% improvement in yield, and it also helps in reducing 70% of irrigation in the particular variety, we're looking at PR varieties. On an average, 5% improvement in the yield and 10% irrigation what's in Pusa part. Pusa Basmati is a popular variety which is being grown in Punjab, and essentially majority part of that is also being exported out. With the outcome is essentially we have successfully automated the AWS system into sensor-based IoT, cloud-based IoT, and also helps in managing the crop water as based on the demand of different crops. It also helps in managing the groundwater exploitation. It means earlier what in the pumps were running, the farmer typically switch it on and goes back home. And then, the volume of water which has been extracted is always more than what's required, because there was no control, no measurement. It was based on the assumption or the standard thing, this much water should have in the paddy field as a standing water during the standing crop. So it also helps in increase in crop yield. This is essential due to the control system, because you are utilizing the actual crop water, and based on the agronomy and the science. It also helps based on the soil based on the soil type. It also helps in reducing the puddling of water in the field. That also reduces the methane, although we have not measured actually how much methane is being generated or reduced in that, but this is the next study we are going to do. Reduction in energy use essentially, because as I mentioned in the beginning that the energy is free in Punjab, there the farmers do not really care of using in energy meticulously. So the pumps are on, and it gives more water, it uses more energy, and thereby it is not really good for the crop, not for the state. So it is detrimental to all of them. So therefore, IoT model successfully piloted this rice crop. We also did for a week, but I am concentrating here only on the rice part. Also, our idea is essentially once it's successful, now the next phase is essential going to certain districts where the farmers are already signed up, and then it will go on the statewide. That is how it is going to be implemented after the state. The other aspect, as I mentioned, that it's education, capacity building, awareness, adaptation. Thereby, training and capacity was important aspect. We also do, it's a continuous process. It also helps the farmer to build their understanding. Now, benefits government in many ways, as you mentioned, that it helps in reducing or extracting the groundwater. It helps in saving energy. It helps in monitor the what irrigation systems. It also helps in managing the crop yield versus other logistics aspects in the system. That's for the government. It also benefit farmer, because farmer is getting more yield, utilizing less electricity is also having a less input in terms of physical level, because you can monitor and manage all irrigation systems during including fertilizers during the the growth, during the growth cycle. He can also do when it need to do apply the fertilizers or maybe pesticides at different rates. It also helps through these IoT-based systems. The benefit is immense. As you know, there's two other benefits. One is the community benefit. It allows the entire the community of farming community to also the government to save huge expenses in on electricity, labor charges. It also helps the farmers for a better understanding of the crop water management. Environmental, it's again immense because it also helps in reducing the groundwater. It also reduces the carbon footprint, water consumption, which I said that 1 liter at 1 kilo price for 3,000. That also going to be. It also helps in greenhouse gas emission reduction. So those are the number of benefits. As you see that it helps the farmers. It helps also to achieve this zero emission by 2070. Also, we have been trying to use the renewable energy as much as possible, because 50% of the renewable energies by 2050 is going to be in India. It's going to be from renewable part, and thereby irrigation sector, the agriculture sector is going to lead in this way by utilizing the renewable energy. With this, I thank you all, but thank you for giving me this opportunity to speak at this international seminar. Thank you very much.